Hey, welcome in the second lecture. This is lecture number 2, Master the Foundation for Automation Success. Today, the lecture is expanding my first scenario. You know that in the previous lecture, we have built this system and we have created two module and two app. We have went through over these things. We went over these things. We understand the basic scenario. What are the options? What are the tools? So if you didn't watch the lecture, go and watch first lecture because we will continue from there. Okay, so welcome again, and this is Mohsen Muntazir, a media marketing manager from last 5 to 6 years. And why make.com automation? This course is for everyone because this course will enable you to automate your workflows. This is very necessary because in the future, AI is going to take everything from us. So learn this thing, how to automate your all social media, even the business things efficiently. This is the most easiest platform. Make.com is very simple, very clean interface. We already experiment a few things in our first lecture. We have created simple two module apps, and the lecture will be uploaded on the YouTube. You can go and watch there. Okay, so today we will continue from there. We will make some more things. We will add some more apps. We will do deep dive in more things to understand better, to understand complex scenarios. Okay, so welcome back again. And today the in our lecture 2 there are 5 units. So let's start. Our first unit will be adding routers, second will be adding filters, then we will play with the more options with the filter, and then we will understand the purpose of scheduling. And then of course you know very well that what is run once, but there will be little bit technicalities and a little bit difficult, a little bit different things in run option. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so welcome in the unit 1. By now you should have a working scenario from your previous course, setting up my scenario. Obviously, if you're watching this lecture, it means you have already built this thing in first lecture. Okay, so you have a pre-built model of this thing. You have already added two modules. You have a Google sheet, and you have already checked that. Okay, so let's move further from there. The aim of this course is to add more step to the scenario you already created, so you can advance your knowledge and understanding of make. Okay, so adding routers. What is router? Obviously the root word, a router is a root word, derived from a root word roots. Root means pathway. So a router is a native make tool that allows you to branch your workflow onto separate paths. Okay, so when you have a different app, when you have an app and we want to take a branch from that app, so this is known as routers. Okay, we are making the roots, and then we will attach the other app on that route, so the whole thing will make them a router. Okay, I'm explaining this thing in a very simple language so you can understand. Okay, for example, let's watch this. It's a green thing, it's a green map connected with email. Okay, so this is a router attached, and then there is a two extensive branch. One is Slack, and the other is I think so. It's let me see what's that. Okay, I think it will take some time. So So this thing, this router has been attached to the Slack, and then the email, and then the Dropbox, and then in the third thing, that is green thing. Okay, so this is a router. When you will attach router with an app, you can take as much as branches from router as you want. Okay, so why adding routers? Why would you use a router? Obviously, in the scenario you created before, the weather app passes information to a Google Sheet. That is, we have created this thing in the first lecture, so you can understand things better. You could use a router to process the information in different format. For example, to a messaging service like Slack. Okay, if you want to process the information from whether we are processing the information through a Google Sheet, but if you want to process this information from to a Google Sheet as well as to the Slack app, so then definitely you have to add the router in between them. Okay, so in this example, we will use the weather app as a source model as it contains the data weather. The destination app for the weather is Google Sheet, but thanks to the router, we can add another destination app. So you can understand better that what is the purpose of adding a router. Okay, so look at this diagram. We will go to the we will start practical each and everything. Let's complete this unit first, and then we will go with the I will show you just like we did in the first lecture, so don't worry about it, don't worry at all about that. Okay, so this is the weather app. You can see in my on my screen, this is the router I have attached. So one route is connected to a Google Sheet and the other is connected to the Slack. So when the data or a bundle, you know that the information in the make.com we call it bundle. Okay, so when the bundles has been created from this app, it will pass through the router to two different routes, one to the Google Sheet and one to the Slack. Okay, so this is the function of router. Why we attach router? Because router do these things. Okay, so we will do practical, don't worry at all about it. I'm just I'm letting you know the theory, and after that we will go to on the practical, so don't worry about that. Okay, so adding router sorry for that. Adding router, this is the practical from where we can start the particular things. How we can add the router, we have to complete all the stages of this. We will go step by step. Okay, so if you want to add the router in between the two apps, right click the path between the two models and select the add router. This will insert the router between the two modules. Let's check it out how we'll add the router. So if we will select this, see, it's on the third, it's on the fourth line, this add a router. Okay, so the router has been attached. It's very simple. The weather, now the router, and this is Google Sheet. So we can do here because we have to add another app here. Okay, you can move it anywhere you want. You can move it maybe here or there, and anywhere you want. It's a simple UI, you can take it anywhere you want. Okay, so then you will insert the router between the tools, so router has been attached. Okay, so what is the step 2? Now that your order is in place, however your newly placed router model universes plus state appears, select this. It will add a placeholder for a new model node. You can select this multiple times to add multiple placeholder. Okay, we have already attached, it's a method 2 that you can add this thing. Okay, see, if you want to add a second app here, you can add second app from a multiple sources, and I will show you how. So when you will hover over this, you can see there is a plus sign, and when you will click this, you will definitely this second app will appear, but it's an empty app. You can now place any app you want, and we will do that in the next step. Okay, for the purpose of your scenario, select the placeholder for the new module and add another Google Sheet, add a row module to your scenario. Okay, so same thing, configure your new module sheet same as the previous module and click OK. So now you know how we will set up this thing. Okay, so once I will add this, it's Google Sheet, and I will add if you remember, we will add this action. It was Make Academy, and if you want to know, if you didn't know that what was the configuration for this, just look at this. So my first scenario sheet 1, so I will add. Okay, so I will add this my first scenario here. Okay, this was the sheet that I have built, and this is the sheet 1 I have built. Okay, so this is already I have created. So do that. Okay, so this model has been configured just like this. We have the same model here and there, and we will go further what we will see. Okay, so for the purpose, okay, we have already built click. Okay, unit 1, adding a router method 2. If you know, you have an empty space, if you have an empty workflow, so where you can add router from your flow control located under the tools in the scenario editor, select router and drag to connect it to the source model. Obviously, I told you that there are multiple options to add different apps to the existing app. Okay, if you want to click here, if you want to click here, you can add anything you want to add. If you want to click here, you can add anything from that. See, there will be multiple option from there, you can add from there. So there are a lot of options. You can click here. See, it's basic there, Google app, weather, and all the apps are there. So there are multiple options, you can use any of them. It doesn't matter what option you are using. The basic thing is you can do everything correct. Okay, so okay, from your flow control located under the tools in the scenario edit. Okay, one thing I told you, that this is a very necessary guide. Apart from the lecture you're watching on the YouTube, this is obviously free. You can claim this guide, you can you can take this guide. The link will be in the description, and you can go through my Gumroad store, and you can take it from you can take from there. Okay, sorry. Okay, so from flow control located under the tools, you can add router from that I already showed you. Okay, so adding routers to visualize the order of the data flow, select the explain flow item under the control. This will visually illustrate the router. Okay, if you know, we have talked about this option, explain flow. So now, if you can see, watch this again. Okay, the data come from this side, then go this, and then go this. Okay, so again, see, it will coming from the router, then it go to the up, and then it go to the down. This is the way, this is how the system works. Okay, so this is all about the unit 1. Already we have discussed that what are routers and how to add routers, and let's go to the unit 2. Okay, so sorry, here is our unit 2, that is adding filter. You know that what are filters? Filters are those things which allow specific data to be passed, or which restrict specific data. Okay, so you can use filters in make.com to pass your desired data or to restrict your desired data. So how to add a filter, how to configure a filter, in this unit we will discuss all those things, right? So adding a filter, before we will go to add a filter, you must know that what kind of informations can be filtered. There are 4 basic filters, you can say that, operators we use in make.com. Number 1 is basic, number 2 text, number 3 numeric, and number 4 date time operators. Okay, so starting from the basic operator is something which in the simple scenario, you know that if you can say that somebody has sent me an email, and if email does contain the word make, so pass me the email, or otherwise restrict it. So this is a basic operator. Okay, so number 2, text operator. Text operator are different operators. For example, if I'm saying that if somebody have sent me an email, so if he has talked about the donations, or if he has talked about that I want to donate, I have a donation organization, I need donations. So if someone is talking about the proposal, if someone's talking about the donations, then I will let the system to pass the email, or if it is not, then I will restrict it, that don't send these email to me. Okay, so here is the example has been given. I can as I already said that you can take this lecture from this link will be given in the description, and so it will be very easy for you. Along with the video, if you will see this guide, you can understand things very much better. Number 3rd one which we'll talk about is the numeric operator. Numeric operator, as the name suggests, that if you're talking about the if I have 40 apples and 40 bananas. Okay, so if someone has sent me an email, and I have configured the OS filters that if somebody has then 20 apple greater than 20 apple, then send me an email. If it has less than 20 apple, then don't send me a mail. So this is the numeric operator when we'll talk about greater than, equal to, less than. So these are called numeric operators, okay. And the last one is date time operators. Obviously date time, you know that if you are joining the meeting before 5 p.m., then let the email pass to me. If he is not available at 5 p.m. on Monday, Friday, then don't send me an email. If I am a boss of some organization, I am a CEO of some organization, and I have been invited in some functions, so I will set my system that I will be available on only Saturdays between 1 to 5 p.m. So if somebody wants me, if somebody wants to invite me on their occasion, so definitely it have to set the time according to my timings, okay. So if we talk about the like 11 a.m. on the Saturday, then automatically my system will generate an email and send to him that I'm not available, okay. So it will be restricted to come to me. So if I will set this daytime filter on the Saturday in between 11 to 5 p.m., and if somebody email me on that timing that we want you to come in our location on that timing, definitely that email will come to me very fast through our system. And this is known as adding filters. These are very good things. We will definitely use all those things in our practical. So let's see what they are saying about. But let me add a thing here. Before going to do a practical on these adding filters, you have to do two things. You have already made your sheets, okay. This is a sheet that we were working on in the first lecture, okay. This is the sheet. These were the coordinates that we were done in the first lecture. So now you already have this sheet. So what you have to do, you have to add two more sheets in the same sheet, right? No, you don't have to generate another full sheet. You have to create two more sheets in that sheet. One you should name temperature above 20, and the other you should name it equal to or below 20, okay. You have to create these two sheets in your that portfolio which you have built during first lecture. Remember that this is the important thing. You don't have to create another sheets. You have to build those things in here, okay. Because we are connecting that weather to those two sheets. If we will build another scenario, then you can create another sheet, okay. So you have to create two sheets here. One you should name it temperature above 20, and the other you should name it equal to or below 20, okay. So let's come to the practical now. What we will do, there are two ways to add a filter. Very simple. You can simply click the middle point with the left click, and here the setup a filter dialog appears to your screen, on your screen, okay. And or you can right click there and see set up a filter, so this dialog can appear on your screen, okay. There are two ways you can add a filter. So what we have to do, let's check it out. If we will set up a filter, what this is a label. You can name it anything you want to. This is not a necessary thing, this is an optional, but I recommend do add a name. It will remember when you are making a complex system. We will learn in the advanced things when you have 12 or 13 or 15 apps on your workflow, and you'll forget that why I have added these things. So that label will remind you that why you have added these things. So this label is very necessary for me, although it's an optional thing, but my recommendation is you have to set the name, okay. So what will be the label name? Definitely I will create a label name like that, temperature above 20. This is my first sheet, so I will create a label name temperature above 20. Got it? So what is the condition? The condition is temperature. We are talking about the temperature, so definitely you have to map the temperature, okay. The word I'm using, map, is the thing when you want to set the conditions. You don't say that we are setting up the condition, you will say that we are mapping the condition, okay. When we are talking about the things in make.com, okay. So okay, so now uh, understanding thing, this thing, that it's temperature above 20. Above 20 means we are talking about the greater sign, that if we are adding up a filter, that we're talking about if the temperature is greater than 20. Okay, so we will add the greater sound. Yes, this one. We will add greater. Numeric operators has been added like a greater sound. Okay, let's see here. This is not a required field. Labels make you filter organize, which makes your life easier and change your later. And label here 20. Okay, so text operator equals to or numeric operators greater than. Okay, see, scroll down to numeric operators greater than. Click this in order to populate the operator field. You can also search for your required operator by tapping in the search field. Finally, in your last field, type 20. So what I am doing, that I am setting up this thing, temperature is greater than 20, right? Here it has been written, see. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm setting up the filter, the temperature is greater than 20. That's, I have created the sheet, temperature above 20. So this is my first filter. What are these, we will talk about later. So now what you will do in that sheet, definitely, what is the second sheet, equal to or below 20. So you will add. Okay, so this is the second thing. We have to set the second sheet, my second sheet name, or equal to or below 20. So I have created the name above 20, or I am creating the name equal to or below 20. So what will be the condition? The condition, obviously we are mapping the temperature, and what operator we will use? We will use equal to or less than. So less than or equal to, and here we will use 20, right? So this is the thing that we have already done. And when you, okay, see, here is the thing you can watch. This thing has already, first it was like this range, and then it came like filter. Okay, so this is the thing, it means that filters has been added to your scenario. Good, all good. So what you will do, the final step, this is the most important step you will do in the thing. And what you will do, you have already set the filter. This filter is already written here, see, first filter is temperature above 20, and the second is equal to or below 20. What is the final step? The final step will, you will configure this sheet to above 20, right? You will configure the sheet to above 20. You have already see the three sheets here. If you are not seeing the three sheets here, it means you have added those sheets in a separate new file. So that's what I want to tell you, that don't do that. Okay, you have to be very very careful in this step. Okay, so temperature above 20, and I will do okay, and I will do here, come here, and what will I do? What will I do? You can mention it in the comment. What will I do? Yeah, I will add here equal to or below 20. So this will be the, now this the configuration is cool. The filter has been set, and now sheet has been select to that operator. So what does it mean? If you are thinking about the scenario, what does it mean? The weather, when the weather will be telling us that it's temperature above the 20, the router will definitely pass your information to the sheet which has separately created to accommodate the temperatures above 20 degrees centigrade. Are you getting my point? And what does the router do with another one? The router will pass information only if the temperature is below 20 degrees centigrade to the sheet which has been created in the name of below or equal to 20 degrees centigrade. I think you got this point, okay? So this is this thing what we have added the filters, we have added two sheets, and now we are, I think it's unit 2 done here. Let me see. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to see what is this flow gonna do. We will click where it is explain flow. Now see, okay, again this will come from here, from here it goes above and then it down. This is gonna will follow flow, okay? You can save with the time, or you can time to time you can save it, okay? So in unit number 3, then we will proceed then what to do or what to not, okay? Okay, so in unit 3 we will talk about this add end rule and add or rule, okay? What are these? Remember when we were adding the filter, there were two options: add end rule and add or rule. Okay, so what are these? The scenario you have built, whether the app to separate this, and you have to end rule tool. Okay, so what are these? Let's say I'm wearing shoes and I have to enter the gymnasium. Okay, so a security on the door ask me, you cannot go to the gymnasium unless and until you will wear the black shoes. Now what does it mean? I have already purchased the ticket of gymnasium, but I cannot enter because I don't have shoes. Okay, I don't have black shoes, so I cannot enter in the gymnasium. But if tell me, if I am wearing a shoes, the black shoes, and I didn't buy a ticket, so can I enter in the gymnasium? Definitely not. First condition is to having a ticket, and the second condition that has been set is wearing black shoes. If you have a ticket and you're not wearing the black shoes, you cannot enter. And if you're wearing the shoes and you don't have a ticket, then you cannot enter the gymnasium. So we are adding further options, further filters in our filters, like that temperature is above 20 and I am adding the status cloud, okay? And the temperature is, on the other hand, I am adding the temperature is below 20 and I am adding the status rain. So what does it mean? That if the data will pass through the router, if the temperature is above 20 degrees centigrade and the weather is cloudy, if the weather is not cloudy, then the data will not pass through the filter. This condition will add in the add rule or in the or rule. Are you got my point? Let's go on the screen. Let's add this. Here we will add end rule. So what we will do, we will set the status, and okay, so see from here we will set the status and air humidity, add status clouds, and air humidity is greater than 50. So I have been set the status, and here I will add CLOUDS clouds. Okay, what will I do? I will do save. Okay, right? This filter has been updated with and option. OR rule, We have already used add end rule in the above sheet, and now we will use here OR rule. So what I will do, I will add, where is the status, and we will add rain option. Remember, I am not selecting these things from by on. I have already given the things here. See, rain. Where is the cloud? Okay, cloud has been already been used in the above sheet. Okay, so I'm not using an option other than the condition has been given. Okay, it's in a simple scenario. How we'll add our own condition, we will learn those things in the intermediate lectures. So are you getting this? We have add two more things in our filter. In the above 20 degrees centigrade, we have added the status to cloud, that if the weather is cloudy and the temperature is above 20 degrees centigrade, then pass me the data. Okay, and in the below sheet I have added the status rain, that if the temperature is below 20 degrees centigrade and the weather is rainy, then send me the data. Got it? So okay, so this is thing we have already added, and now you have now added another level of criteria. The top module process data if the temperature is above 20 and equal to clouds, and process data if the temperature is less than 20 or equal to rain. So you can enter if you have a ticket and you are wearing shoes. If you are not wearing shoes but you have a ticket, you can come in. So you can, the next step is to run once. The output will be very based on what the weather is looking like. The last thing to do is to run scenario by clicking run once. Depending on what you are the world at the time, you will definitely result blah 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 blah. Okay, because the temperature was less than 20, filter to the bottom module. Okay, if you'll get the results, the empty sheets, it means the conditions are not set according to you. So we will add run once and we will wait. So it's already executed. See, the request was accepted, waited for the server, the scenario was initialized, the scenario was finalized, and the scenario run was completed. So what will you do? You will save it so you can use it. Okay, this scenario has been saved. Okay, this was all about the adding filters and adding more options to the filter. I think you are getting this, and by practicing all these things you will definitely learn. If you are not practicing with me, then definitely these things are well gonna be a make much difficult for you. So this guide is compulsory. The link will be given in the description. Get that guide. Okay, let's move to the unit number 4. What will unit number 4 say? Okay, so unit 4 is what is scheduling. It's a very simple thing, so I will go very quickly and very fast in this. Okay, you know that scheduling is to run something with the regular interval of time, or you can run, or you can want to run it once every day, weekly, monthly, yearly. This all thing is known as scheduling. Okay, we have already discussed these things in the lecture 1. There are two types of scheduling. One is polling and one is instant. Polling is executing the scenario with the different intervals, like after 4 hours, after 6 hours, after 8 hours. You want to know to get the update about that thing. Okay, and what is instant? Instant is something will quickly came and will give you the instant result, that when the email, you will get the email that will pop up instantly on your system. Okay, so this is the both the difference between polling and instant. We have already discussed these things detail in the lecture 1, so I'm not going very much detail right now. Okay, so now this is the important thing. This thing should have to be understandable, that what are the operations and how you will calculate your operations. Okay, so we are consuming two operations here. Okay, first operation is to the weather app is obtaining the bundle, obtaining the information from the source, whatever the source is. It is obtaining the information from the source. This is known as one operation. Okay, and then it will add two different sheets, pass the operations to different sheets. This is the second operations. It doesn't matter that how many sheets are added, it will count as a one. So there are total two operation in my whole scenario, one here and one here. See, it's already written. You will see that it's written one here and one here. Okay, there are two operations in the in our whole scenario. So what will how you'll calculate the two operation if we will schedule this scenario after 15 minutes. Okay, so in 15 minutes you are consuming two operation, so in 1 hour you will consume eight operations. Okay, and in 1 hour you are consuming eight operation, and if you want to how many operations you will consume in a 24 hours, so you have to 24 multiply by 8, so it will be 192 operations per day and 1344 operations per week. Why we are calculating this, why we are doing this? Because in make.com you will be only given, I think 1,000 operations as a free credit. After that you have to buy the operations, or I think it's a $19 per month or $29 per month, and you will get a lot of operations number, like I think it's 10,000. We will see that in plans. You can see already that thing. Okay, so this is very good thing, and this is has to be you have to calculate that if you're working with some company, so definitely they will ask you how much operations it will generate, how will it will calculate. Okay, so before you schedule, you will decide, you have to decide, you want to run once, you want to at a regular interval at every day. I am not going very much detail in that, it's all theoretical. You can get that guide and read it by yourself. It's not so much this is nothing, there's nothing to show you with the practical thing. That one thing I want to show you, that see, here is the button that is run once, and if you want to regular set the interval, you can set once every day, week, month, specified dates on demand. Or if you want to if you want to show the minutes, this can you can choose the minutes. You can do everything you want. If you want to go deep down in the setting, you can on demand, you can do that. When I want to start, when I want to end, here is the calendar came, so you can do everything you want to do. Okay, so it doesn't matter, it's very easy thing. I'm not going so much detail in that. Okay, you can read that. Okay, here are things. What is scheduling, blah blah blah, and once again this why selecting why runs, so data is generated from this to this. Here the simple thing is, it is teaching that how the generator is generating from this to this, and then this to those sheets. Okay, so you can see that, and then the router will pass to the filter, and from the filter it will pass to your designated sheets. So this one has been added, so it means you are consuming total one operation in the beginning and one operation in the end. I showed you this thing. The screen is very much interesting and very necessary. Let me click this again, and I'll show you. See, when there will be no error in your scenario, you can see here, there will be no error here. Okay, if you will have some kind of error, or if you have some kind of malfunctioning here, so definitely that thing will be pop up in your that timeline field. Okay, so it means the request was accepted, you have given the request on one side and waiting for the server, the scenario was initialized and the scenario was finalized and the scenario run was completed. So here the full scenario has been run successfully. Okay, so this was all about the unit 4. It is not so much complicated things, it's just a theoretical things. You can get the guide and you can read it by yourself. Okay, we have already discussed this thing in lecture 1 as well. So I'm going to unit number 5, the last unit of the today's lecture. So see what will in the unit 5.